Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. So this is about health and vitality at every age. And a lot of us here today may be, my age-ish, and we're starting to notice that, maybe things aren't working the way they did when they were younger. However, did you know that aging starts at 25? And so if we can start to, reverse some things, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about your metabolic health. And did you know that only 6.8% of the adult population in the United States have optimal cardiometabolic health? And if you're wondering what is optimal cardiometabolic health, it's looking at factors like body fat index, looking at your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, blood sugar, how you process your food, and how well you're able to turn it into energy, as well as how your body stores fat. So we're in the middle of a health crisis, and it shows in different ways in different people. So if you're taking if you look at this screen and you're here with me and you've got something to write with, just take a moment right now and make a note to yourself of these 6 things: energy, weight, mood, sleep, clarity, stress. What are the ones that are preventing you from living your most powerful life right now? And what we're finding is that people who are taking MetaPower, it is affecting all 6 of these, but it affects them in a different order, and it affects them in a different way, depending on the individual's body and where their metabolism is at when they start. So not everyone is going to have the exact same experience. And so it's good to kind of track how you're feeling day to day. It's also a good idea to take a before photo and take your measurements before starting on this, because sometimes the scale may not change, but you can see your body composition changing. So if we want to be healthy, we need to take a holistic look and approach to our healthcare, because wellness is so much more than getting exercise and eating right. I mean, that's kind of the 2 things, the mantra that I grew up with. Eat right and exercise and you'll be healthy. That's kind of a simplistic view, and this is of a more holistic approach. So yes, getting good nutrition is really, really important. Problem is, it's really hard to get good nutrition, when our soil is depleted and our food is processed, and even if you're eating really, really well, we still have gaps in our nutrition. So that's where the smart supplementation comes in. But also having good digestion. Sometimes our digestion can stop us from absorbing the nutrients in the food that we're eating. So taking care and improving our digestion and our gut health is important. Moving our bodies, having a strong metabolism, getting good sleep, managing our stress levels, and then reducing our exposure to chemical toxins. That is something that I think is starting to be on more people's radar. But the most common causes of toxicity in the body are coming there. It's coming from your personal hygiene products, which you probably get at the store, like your deodorant, your lotion, your shampoo, your soap, because what goes on your skin is getting absorbed into your bloodstream. The other number 1 cause of toxicity in our body is our cleaning products and what we're using in our homes. We can't really do anything about the outside air, water, when we go outside of our homes, but what we clean our houses with is really important. All of these things here on the bottom 4 have to do with our lifestyle choices. But the top 2 here, informed self-care and proactive medical care, these have to do with our healthcare, right? And it's really important to try to take care of ourselves in a way now that we can prevent things from happening down the road, right? not waiting for things to go wrong and try to fix them, but instead being proactive about our health. And avoiding is so much better, right? That phrase of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? But then also, when things do go wrong, knowing that you have different options and some are healthier than others in the process of addressing those health concerns, okay? And that's what we are all about here. Not just with the Metapower, but also the doTERRA essential oils and other supplements that can be really, really useful in addressing your concerns. But we're here today to talk about your metabolism. So what are the obstacles to our strong metabolic health? One is our fat cells. They say maturing, which basically just means that when we're young, our fat cells are small. When we have new fat cells that are being created, they're small, they're flat. And if they stay that way, that's fantastic. But if we are not using as many calories as we're taking in, and depending on the state of our metabolism, those fat cells can start to fill with fatty acid, and they get big and round and plump, right? That's one problem that we have, because then they start to take up more space, especially around our middle, okay? Also, blood sugar spikes. Every time your blood sugar spikes, your cells age prematurely. And for people who are having issues with blood glucose levels, that can be really, really bad for their health. Finally, we've got over here on the right-hand side, we've got cellular integrity and inferior supplements. Cellular integrity has everything to do with the strength of your DNA and the strength of your cells and the age of your cells. You may have heard of telomeres. There are lots of things that happen inside of our cells, and when they're working properly, our bodies work properly. But if our cells are having problems doing what they need to do, then it affects us on a larger level. And we may or may not feel the effects now, but we'll definitely feel the effects over time. So this is where the Metapower system comes in. It's 3 steps that addresses those 4 obstacles to our metabolic health. So talking about those fat cells, right? They use some balloons in these pictures to kind of illustrate what happens as they fill up with fatty acids. And guess what? The first step in our Metapower system is the Metapower essential oil blend. And we have choices. There are a number of different ways that we can just get this in our bodies, okay? There's an essential oil. I've got mine right here. I've got it in my water. I'm just sipping on my water throughout the day, and this is my preferred way of just keeping this in my body. Why do I want it? Because it shrinks the fat cells. And in the science, the deep dive with the researchers and the scientists, by the way, I posted that video in our Facebook group that I will share with you at the end of this presentation. You can go watch it for yourself. They actually showed photographs of human fat cells shrinking when they were exposed to the Metapower essential oil. What is it, you might be wondering? So it is a blend, and the proportions are proprietary. They had to do a lot of testing to get the proportion right. But what we're talking about is grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. So it tastes awesome, and it gives you really fresh breath, but it keeps your fat cells from getting big and puffy like that. It also curbs your cravings. Okay, and so this is what is going to keep your cravings for snacking away, and also for sweets, for sugar. And that was one of the biggest things for me that I noticed almost immediately, is that my sugar cravings went away. So the way that you take it, well, you can add the oil to your water like I've got here, or if you prefer to just take it in a capsule, we've got these soft gels, okay? And you can just pop one of those in, maybe in between your meals or in the morning, especially if you're intermittent fasting. That can help you with the cravings until your eating window opens up. Another thing that we have it's got the oil in it is the gum. I don't know how to pronounce that, satiety, keeps you satiated. Okay, you can chew the gum. And then we also have beadlets. So there's 4 different ways that you can just keep that in you throughout the day. All right. Step 2 is addressing the blood sugar spikes. Okay, we've got this little odometer here, speedometer, whatever that is, speedometer, I guess, as an illustration of what happens in our body when we eat. Anytime you eat, your blood sugar spikes. And then what happens is after a little while, it crashes. When it crashes, your insulin levels spike, and then you get food cravings. So hold on just a minute. Let me see if I can make sure that everybody is muted. I can hear some background noise. I think we're all good now. Okay, hopefully that'll help a little. So when the blood sugar spikes, the insulin drops, right? And then the blood sugar crashes, the insulin levels go up, and then we just do this, right? So we snack, it keeps going up and down and up and down. And it's kind of like if you're driving a car and you're hitting the accelerator really hard, and then you're hitting the brakes really hard, and then the accelerator, and then the brakes. And what's going to happen is very quickly, you're going to wear down your engine, and your car is going to start to have things going wrong with it sooner than it should, because you're prematurely aging the parts in your car, right? That's what happens with our cells. When we have a blood sugar spike, it causes what they call oxidative stress on your cells, and your cells age prematurely. So Metapower Assist is a capsule of naturally derived ingredients that decrease the post-meal glucose spikes. And as if that's not enough, right? And they showed in the studies, everybody's blood sugar totally leveled out, which meant that they had sustained energy throughout the day as well, because they didn't crash, right? That's usually when you feel like you need to have a nap after you eat, right? It stopped that from happening. It also causes your body to ignore the carbs. It turns fast carbs into slow carbs, and so that way your body can draw on them for energy throughout the day. That will also have an effect on how your body is storing fat, and will help you to release excess weight because your body is ignoring carbs. Just amazing. So the way that you do this, the way that you take it, is you just take 1 assist with your largest meal of the day. Easy, right? Ideally, if you're wearing, the people who did the study, they were actually wearing blood glucose monitors, and they found that the optimal time to take it is 15 to 30 minutes before you eat your largest meal. But if you forget and you take it with your meal, it will still help, okay? All right, so moving on now to our next step in the system. This is the Metapower Advantage. And this is just amazing. To understand the power of the Metapower Advantage, you have to understand something that happens in our body when we're young, okay? We have when we're small, we have really high levels of an enzyme in our body called NAD+ and NADH. And that is a major component in over 500 different processes in our body, over 500. And it's the most common enzyme in our body when we're young. And so everything, when you think back to when you were young, right? Your hair was strong and shiny. Your skin was supple, right? You recovered quickly from injuries. You didn't have mobility problems or joint pain, right? And you could eat anything you wanted and feel fine, because guess what? All of those processes were able to do what they needed to do because you had the NAD levels to back it up. So starting at age 25, our NAD levels start to decrease. So by the time we reach 50, we're operating at about half the NAD levels. But new research, and you can go to, I would recommend going to Google Scholar, not just Google, but Google Scholar is what will give you actual research rather than just, like my 17-year-old's blog or something. Go to Google Scholar and type in NMN, and it's short for a very long scientific name. And you can see all the research that's being done on NMN. NMN is a precursor to NAD, which means that when we drink NMN in our Advantage packet, it prompts your body to start producing NAD again in increasing levels. And in the clinical trials, 100% of the participants increased their NAD levels by 20%. 20% in 2 weeks. Guys, that is equivalent to turning the clock back 20 years on your NAD levels. So that's why you start to sleep better. You start to have a better mood. You start to notice changes in your skin and in your weight and in your energy levels. Like all of these things, also your joints, right? You can move better, less inflammation. It's just amazing. And so all you do is take 1 sachet per day. You pour the contents into some water and you can shake it to dissolve it. Or if you have like a handheld mixer, you can like zap it real quick. I like the taste, especially if it's with cold water. Some people find that they don't particularly like the taste. I would not mix it with juice because then you're just putting sugar into your body. So the better option would be to mix it with a smaller amount of water and throw it back like a shot and then chase it with something else that, just to get the taste out of your mouth if you don't like it. But to me, it tastes like Crystal Light. Okay, but guess what? NMN is not the only thing that's in this. It also contains 9 types of marine collagen, and the collagen is sourced from sustainably harvested cold water marine fish in Italy. So that means they don't have mercury. They're not in nasty, gross, farmed water or something like that. They're good. It's a good source of collagen. All the collagen that's out there on the market right now is very large molecules. They're called peptides. Ours are tripeptides, which means that they're much, much smaller, so your body can absorb them 12 times better than every other collagen that's out there, okay? Our collagen is 12 times more bioavailable. Also, most collagen that's out there has 2, maybe 3 types of collagen in it. And usually the types of collagen that they'll have to do with your skin and your hair and your nails and maybe your joints. But look at all of ours: bone protection, cartilage, dermis, epidermis, stabilizing the structure of 2 types of our own body's collagen, okay? Growth plates, joints, brain aging, just awesome, cell growth. So this is going to affect so many things in your body. And look at these 11 other awesome ingredients that are all naturally derived in this one packet. Hyaluronic acid, that would be a good one to look up. Resveratrol, another good one to look up. Biotin. You guys may have sea buckthorn, you may have heard of, right? Liposomal vitamin C. It's so much better than regular vitamin C, my friends. I've been taking liposomal vitamin C as an additional supplement. I don't need to now because I've got it in this. Okay, so it's important to know that we are all individuals with the power to adjust to our own body's needs. Okay, so you're not going to find a whole lot of information that tells you an exact regimen because everyone has like the ability to experiment with their body. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 packet a day You're going to take 1 assist with your largest meal, and then however you want to get the oil into you, right? The oil products, the essential oil product. However, if you've got a lot of years that you want to reverse or a lot of weight that you want to release, you can be a super user, which means that you take 2 packets a day and 2 assists per day. Okay, like 1 with 2 meals instead of just 1 meal. You can also adjust the time of day. A lot of people in the study noticed that the Advantage actually helped them sleep. So they started taking this at night. For me, for whatever reason, it gives me energy. And when I tried taking it at night, I actually was wide awake and I was super productive. I was like feeling great. And it'd be fantastic if I was having like a party or if it was a night out, but it was just a normal weeknight and I really thought I should go to sleep. So for me, I like to take it in the morning. You can also make adjustments as to whether or not you take the Advantage and the oils with or without food. Also, how much water you're taking in, especially if you have any kinds of detoxification or discomfort. So some people will find, and this is part of the study that they did find, is that with the assist, because it's causing your body to ignore the carbs are going straight through your small intestine and they're getting dropped right into your large intestine. Okay, because it's basically your body is sort of bypassing processing the carbs, which puts a little bit of extra strain on the bacteria in your intestinal tract. They adjust after a few days, they will adjust and those symptoms will go away. But just know that for some people, I think it was like 15% of the population, they did experience a little bit of intestinal discomfort for a few days. So at this point, I think this is a good place to stop and to just invite anybody who would like to just click on the little reaction and raise your hand. And I'd love to call on you and hear what your experience has been. Some of you are in here who have already started taking it.
Hi, Tiff.
Hey, Belle.
So I came outside because John's been working on the yard. So he could do his testimonial because he has like such an awesome testimonial.
Yes.
So while he's like, you know, taking like grass off his hair and all that, I'll do mine.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it. What's your experience been?
Well, guys, I've lost around 5 pounds and it's been, I don't know, about 13 or 14 days. We are just feeling great. I have so much energy, like what you were talking about, right? And I even want to clean the kitchen and like clean out stuff that I'm not a cleaner, like that's not my thing, but I've just had so much energy. I have lost several inches. I was just telling my sister, Nilda, that this blouse I had not worn because it was tight. And now I'm wearing it and it's super loose. I love it. I've lost inches from my arms, my waist, my thighs, my neck. I just feel wonderful. And it's not only the Advantage. I mean, that's like the main thing, but I feel like my hair is better, my skin, it just feels wonderful.
Oh,
so if you're not on it yet, you better order it. That's all I can tell you. And here's my awesome husband.
Oh, where is he? Where is he? There he
You're
is.
right there.
Oh,
Hey,
here I am.
John. Hi.
Hey, well,
Tell us
sorry
about
for my
it.
appearance, but I've been working on the yard, getting the garden ready, planting some stuff already. But just like Bill, I've lost about 5 pounds. But more than anything, I think I've got rid of a lot of inflammation. So I noticed a lot of my clothes are fitting me a lot looser. And it's not the weight loss, but it's the inflammation that I've lost. So been feeling good. Like I said, the other night, I had COVID last week. And when I did take the Advantage, I did feel good, a lot better for about 2-3 hours afterwards. But everything's going good. As a matter of fact, I got to take my shake here in a little bit.
So
Just
John,
too late on me, because I have to take it about 2, because if not, it'll keep me up all night. So I take it about 2,
Okay.
2:30, and I sleep like a baby. Like I said before, I used to get out, go to the bathroom 2-3 times a night. Lately, I haven't gotten up at all.
That's
So,
awesome.
but I've been doing good. Like I said, the other day, the reason this works is because the scientists at doTERRA have found a way to to create more energy in our cells, okay? By using, well, in our cells, inside our cells is a structure called the mitochondria, and that's where the energy is created. So what they've done with the NAD plus and the NMN, they've allowed us, as our body ages, still to create that ATP, or that energy that our body needs. And what it does is, when the NAD plus goes into this transport system, it's called electron transport chain. It goes in, and then when it loses that electron, the NAD plus just NAD, because it's giving up the electron to the ATP molecule, which creates the energy. Then it recycles back through and it picks up another plus. So it keeps us the circle going and going and going. And as we age, that process slows down. But I've been out here all day. I've been doing good. Just got over the COVID, but I'm doing good. So if you haven't tried it, try it.
Yeah.
Like I said, my routine is I get up in the morning, I take my metabolic blend soft gel with my supplements. Right now, when I have my shake, my Meta Advantage shake, I'm going to have another soft gel supplement. And then with my supplements at about 6:30, I take another soft gel. And then I'm sipping on the water with the Meta Blend oil in it all day long. So yeah.
So awesome.
That's what's
John,
working for me.
John and Belle, thank you so much. Guys, in case you didn't notice, so John is actually a biologist. And so when we go to these doTERRA events, he is eating up all the science. And I consider myself a sciencey person, but he's like next level. So I appreciate you explaining all that about the electron transport chain and the ATP, because some of that goes over my head, and I appreciate that a lot. This is science, right? I think it's really important that when people look at natural stuff, they understand that you don't have to believe in it for it to work. Like, this is not hoodoo voodoo. This is real science, and doTERRA is a science company. Would anyone else who's been on it like to share? Nilda.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Well, this is 11th day for me, and I was taking my Metapower, my assist before lunch. I was doing the whole protocol, but I really didn't feel anything. Day 9, whoa. I didn't even know that it was me. I was like, why do I want to work? Why am I going and doing all these files that have been, put away for months? And I'm like, and then I was like walking, getting out of my office, and I felt this pep in my step, and I was like, Metapower, right? So it hit me. So this is day 11 for me. And let me tell you that I need to do some organizing, and like all my doTERRA stuff would come in, and I would just put it in my cabinet on top, and I had a mess. So I've already labeled everything. I'm reboxing stuff for organization. I mean, I am just off the charts, full of energy, focused, and I cannot finish a plate of food anymore. Like I eat what I can, and if I try to force, I can't. So I had lost 3 pounds, and I've maintained that. But I totally agree with John. I feel the inflammation is coming down, because I right now on camera, and I can see like, wow, I even look a little thinner from here. But it's amazing. And on Monday, when I still wasn't feeling that I had, pep in my step, one of the guys at work goes, Miss, you have a glow on your face. And I was like, oh, and it was 1 week into. So this works. I'm so happy that doTERRA gave us this option, this wonderful product line to help us with our health, to restore us. I feel like I've been rebirthed, honestly. I have a lot of energy, focus.
I am so happy to hear you say that, Nilda, because I remember before we had this, we had a conversation where we were talking about how we felt like we'd kind of lost ourselves, right? Like having problems with just all the trauma that we've been through over the last 2 years, and going into a little hole and not feeling like we could be productive. And to hear you say this now makes me so happy.
Yeah, I'm in a better place. The last 2 years have been rough for me, physically, emotionally challenging, but I'm stepping up. I'm coming out. So
awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Yay. Tanya, I see you there, my friend. How are you?
Sorry. I'm good. I'm really good. I I really, at first I was like, okay, my metabolism has been all jacked up because I'm premenopausal. I've been an athlete all my life and just wanting to get back to who I was as an athlete, as a coach. I want to be able to show my athletes, not just tell them. And Tiffany knows I coached her daughter. So I'm a shower, I'm a doer, and I haven't been able to do much lately because everything hurts. My sleep pattern was all jacked up. I was so moody, so tired, so low energy all of the time. And, I got a little extra fluff around the midsection that I didn't have before. I think my 6-pack turned into a keg. Some of those things. I'm on day 8. We just got back from 6 days in Punta Cana. So I took the plunge and started the day we left for our trip. And I thought, why not? I'll just go ahead and start since my stuff came the night before. And after day 1, I immediately noticed my energy level was so much better, which I needed on this trip because, you do the things, the tours and all of the things. So I had a lot of energy. My appetite, I noticed Nilda mentioned that I'm only eating what I can eat. And so I'm on this trip, on this resort with all this food and drinks, and I can only take in a certain amount. And it was just done. Then I noticed like day 3, I felt lighter. I mean, like really light. I looked in the mirror and I thought, there's no way at all. But I felt lighter. My clothes felt looser. And now at day 8, I am 2 pounds down after a vacation with all the things. And I'm 2 pounds down. I'm sleeping a lot better. My energy is great. And I'm excited, y'all, to see 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, because this is day 8. And I got to live my best life for my people. My mom and dad died early, 63 and 66. And so I can't repeat those cycles.
No. Thank you, Tanya. Amen. Yes, yes, yes. Jess, your experience was a little bit different.
It's always different. So everybody's body is different, right? And so my experience with Metapower was different from most. But like Tiffany and John were saying, because of the MNN and the Metapower Advantage, your body is changing and is changing rapidly. And my body is changing literally on a cellular level. Yours will too when you start taking this stuff, and it's waking it up from a deep sleep in some cases. And my body must have been like super asleep because Metapower was a little bit jolting to my system. And so here's a little bit about my history. I'm hypoglycemic. Hypoglycemia can turn into diabetes. So most likely I'm probably pre-diabetic at this point. I'm definitely overweight. I have a 3-year-old who hasn't let me to sleep a night since she arrived. I run 3 businesses. I have 2 kids and a husband. I've had plantar fasciitis pain in my feet for almost 10 years because running apparently is detrimental to your existence. No, just mine. I just, I'm 40, and like you turn 40 and like your body just starts breaking. That's what we've been told. And here's the thing, it's not true. So you can have your body at 40 and at 50 and 60 and feel great, because we're talking about health span, right? And not lifespan.
Yeah.
So day 1, I felt great. But by day 2, all I wanted to do was take a really long nap. And guess what? I did. But it wasn't very restful, but it was like all I could do to get Sylvie fed that day. Like I just was so tired. My body was detoxing and waking up at the same time. Does that make sense? Like everything was being sloughed off and things are waking up, but it was just hard to like manage it all this same time. And I want my cells to be renewed. I want to be clean. So day 2 and day 3, I did not sleep well. I woke up a lot. I cried a lot about dumb things. I had a headache and I like legit could not think, like could not put sentences together. And I felt like maybe I was like I can't even explain it except for
And
like,
meanwhile, your sister-in-law is over here going, I lost 5 pounds in 5 days.
like
right?
half of doTERRA. Yeah. Like everybody's like, I feel awesome. I'm like, I do not, I don't feel awesome. But then by day 4, so it's kind of like Nilda. Like Nilda's the first like actual person besides myself that I know that has been like, yeah, that didn't work out exactly the way that it did for y'all. But day 4 was my day that was like, okay, I feel different. So Fiona, she's 8. She had to wake me up for school. I had slept so hard that I slept through my alarm. My blankets were in the same position that they were when I fell asleep. I literally did not move the entire night. I slept hard. I had vivid dreams and I woke up refreshed, but my brain was still foggy. And that's a weird sensation to like have energy, but not be able to think like, okay, what do I do? Where am I going? What's happening? Like, but I was ready to go. And then, I still had a headache that day, but my plantar fasciitis in my feet was way less intense. If you've had that before, you know what, like getting out of bed, those first, 100 steps are kind of really painful. And I just was like, oh, my feet don't hurt as bad today. Day 5, Fiona had to wake me up again. I had another great night of sleep. My headache was gone that day. I didn't have any pain in my feet that day. So for me, that is a testament to the collagen, right? Because my ligaments are being healed. So that's pretty awesome. And then I realized that day on day 5 that like when Sylvie, who's 3, would be like, hey mama, come look. My response wasn't okay, just a minute, and like sit there for a second. I'm sure all my mamas know what I'm talking about. Like, okay. I just got up and went to see what she had to show me. And that seems like a little thing, but when I realized it was happening, I was like super excited because I don't want to be that mom. I want to be excited to go see what she has to say. So that was the first sign of extra energy that I had. That I
so good to be able to be present, right? To be present for our families. We do have so many demands on us. I know that there are probably a few more people that would like to share, but I'm going to go ahead in the interest of time and just go back to our screen because I do have a few more things to show you guys, and then we'll call it a day. So thank you for those of you who shared. And I wish that I could have gotten with all of you on. It's just like you hear the testimonies, right? Like people, I asked them to share 1 minute, and you can see it's like impossible, right? To just do it in a minute. So if you're wanting to know how you can get started, today is the first day that this is available to people who did not attend convention. So you can get started by going, if you already have a doTERRA account, you can just log into your doTERRA account and get your Metapower system. I would recommend that you do it with the loyalty rewards program, so that way you get your reward points back, right? Your free product credit redeemed back to you. But if you don't currently have a doTERRA account, it's kind of works like Sam's Club or Costco, where you enroll in as a wholesale customer or a wellness advocate, and then you're able to get a 25% discount off of retail. Now, the nice thing about this is when you get your Metapower kit, they're actually going to waive the enrollment fee. Normally it's $35, but they're waiving it so that you can just pay for the products, and then you're a member. So then whatever you reorder in the future is at a 25% discount. Now, I would recommend that you enroll as a wellness advocate because you're going to want to share this with other people, and then you can sign them up, and then you can earn commissions, and that can help you pay for your products. Let me go back here to now. In November, we'll be able to order the products individually, and you can save even more because when you buy your vitamins or your Advantage, look, you can get Metapower at a 40% discount. So that'll be super helpful for us going forward into November and beyond. Because again, this is something that we want to be able to get month after month after month. So we also have a really easy way to be able to see what other people are experiencing, to be able to share our experiences as well as to share with other people. Okay, now I don't expect anybody to go out and teach a class like this, right? What you can do is share this Facebook group. All right, so I will post the link to the Facebook group in the chat here. If you're watching the recording, I'll post it in the comments. But what you can actually do, guys, is you can invite people. You can see over on the left, just invite your friends and family members to the Maximize Your Metabolism Facebook group. And then once they're in, you can go to the welcome video and click comment and tag them in it. And the way that you tag people is you put the @ sign and then their name, and then they'll be able to watch the video. Then all you have to do is go back and ask them, hey, what do you think? And if they're ready to get started, you can just go ahead and sign them up. Or you can put them in contact with the person who got you started in doTERRA, and they can do it for you, okay? So at this point, if you don't already have a doTERRA membership, and if you want to get started, here are the next steps, okay? The first thing to do is to text the person who invited you to this class, or if you're watching the recording, text the person who shared the recording with you, okay? And they can help you get started. And then also join our Facebook group. Now, you can't search for it because there's a whole lot of groups that have that same name apparently, but what I will do is I will share the link in our chat so that you guys can join. So just want to think back to that video that we watched in the beginning. I thought it was beautifully done, and I invite you to experience what she experienced, right? Where you're thanking yourself. In the future, you are so grateful that you started Metapower today, right? Because we want to feel amazing 10, 20, 30 years from now. So that is what I've got. Let me grab that link. This is a fantastic time, guys, for you to ask questions. Let me just grab the link to the Facebook group. What questions do you have? I'm just going to look in the chat here real quick and see if there are any that have been posted. Nelda says, no longer experiencing blood sugar spikes after lunch, usually gets lethargic and sleepy, and I do my best to stay focused, and I no longer have those issues. Yes, same here. Rhonda says, the insane ringing in my ears has dissipated so much. Wow. Blood sugar levels are balanced and my sugar cravings are gone. Bell recommended that you go to pubmed.gov if you want to look up research on NMN. And Tanya has so much more energy. Belle loves the taste of the Advantage, and she literally ran up the stairs the other day, and she says, I do not run. And then when somebody was talking about plantar, I think it was Tanya was talking, no, somebody was, Jess was talking about plantar fasciitis, and Tanya just realized that her plantar fasciitis is not as bad. That's the funny thing about pain, is you don't notice it when it goes away until one day you're like, hey, wait a minute, I don't feel that anymore. And you can't quite put your finger on when it went away. You just know that it's gone. That's an amazing feeling to have. So guys, if you're here because somebody invited you, please reach out to them and they can give you a link and help you get started. If you're not in the Maximize Your Metabolism Facebook group, go ahead and click on that link now. I'm going to say, let's call it a day. I'll stop recording. I just want to thank all of you guys for being here with me.